All right, who's up?
Just having both Daniel Highshot and Leishon Williams back, how much easier does that make your job, and how gratifying was it to see a good rushing performance on Saturday?
Much easier job. Obviously, you don't have to worry about if something happens, what are you going to do next or whatnot. So it was huge. And it was just fun to get them both out there and then get the ground game going. And obviously, you saw Nolan out there, and it was helped out. But it was just good to get those guys both healthy again. It kind of felt like, I can't remember last time, it kind of felt like early in the season. And the good thing is, like, when you get a lead, you hope you can do that and eat up clock. That was the best thing, is the 8 or 9 minutes. I don't know how long the drive was at the end, but like being able to eat up the clock and kind of end the game on our terms. It was huge. And it's big compliment to those two dudes and the line, obviously the tight end.
Has not having them healthy together limited what you maybe thought you were going to do before the season started offensively?
I don't know if it's limited. Sometimes it's limited within each game.
Sure.
Sometimes like maybe, hey, well, and then maybe even the guy who's healthy might not be healthy, if that makes sense to you. Like, not exactly. So you got to get some ball distribution, get the ball out to people, throw the ball more, or whatever. Having both guys, like, you got full confidence in what you want to do offensively. And okay, great. If it's going, great, keep it going. I have no problem like handing the ball off, whatever, 10 straight times, whatever you got. Like, I had no idea. I don't keep track. I'm gonna say, oh, looks good. Looks good. So he did a great job. He didn't look tired. He was rolling.
Have you ever had that happen where one player gets 10
No,
carries
I didn't
in a
know
row?
until Andy just said something. I apologize. Like, I know Coach mentioned it before. I didn't even think about it. I just, because those guys, I just say this, those guys have rotated. Well, once they're healthy, they rotate anyway. So I never know. I don't think there's a play for Daniel or a play for Leishon for the most part when they're both healthy. They're not in that case. So I didn't know who was. I know someone's carrying the rock, and I'm like, sometimes I know who scores. Not to be me, because I think I really respect. I trust them. I respect them. I love them both, and I know that JWall's get them in and out, and I trust those guys, and they roll.
On that topic, then,
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever talked about it, but like, how does that substitution work? Like, is that on Coach Wallace? Is he deciding who's in, who's out?
Yeah, like the rotations. We as coaches talk about. Lance obviously has the end all. If you want somebody in, or we always talk about before the game, like on Fridays, or hey, you're gonna do this, or roll it this way, or hey, we're gonna rotate 2 series, or whatever it goes sometimes. So he trusts JWall. Because sometimes he says, hey, I need somebody else in, and they go in. But yeah, a lot of times it's communicated before, and they know. And then sometimes some of the JWall just keep the hot hand potentially. Sometimes that goes sometimes, but it's always we talked about it before, and then coach can obviously do whatever he wants to trump that baby. He can.
Hey Jim, you guys had some. Did you see success when you're bringing in the extra O lineman for a blocker?
I felt it most was at the end. You know, I felt it throughout. Obviously, we're moving the ball and we're doing well. It's kind of a mixture. It's going great. But at the end, you kind of felt that's when you kind of saw the surge in the box on the last drive after I think they went for it. Didn't get it, I think, so like 40-something yard drive. That's when you saw the O-line start going, like the line of scrimmage go from here down. Like, ooh, that's, like that's what I called, basically called the same play like 5 times in a row. It just kind of kept surging. That was kind of fun. You felt it throughout the game, and Daniel and those guys were running well, but then that was the moment you saw, you're like, ooh, that line of scrimmage has changed drastically, and that's a good thing.
You had Nolan do it most of the time, but I think at the end, Tavake also got a couple snaps in that role. I guess what kind of traits make for a good 6th offensive lineman?
No, nothing special. It's kind of like who's next up. Sometimes who, usually a lot of times it could be anybody. Some people use guard tackle easier sometimes because they're out there on the edge already. If that makes sense to you. And then it's kind of a mixture of, hey, this is the guy we want, and playing well, practicing well, and kind of the next guy. So I don't know if there's a specific trait. And now if you change the number around, there needs to be a little trait, obviously, but it's something. But no, there's really this next guy up. I think Enrique, whoever it is, maybe goes.
What do you see from Arizona's defense?
Really good, like really good. Run around really well. They're multiple there. I think it's the same coordinator through the Urlacher days back in the day. I think that there's storms type stuff, but really good, fast in the back end. They rush the passer exceptionally well with either 4 guys or they bring pressure and they're bringing it. Their cornerbacks are outstanding. Really good cover skills, and they're probably one of the more, if not most, multiple teams in the back end. Just in terms of the different look. When you watch them on tape, they're kind of, and all over the place is a compliment to them. Because they're all over, and it's making it hard to see what's happening sometimes. So I can see why they cause confusion and interceptions, I think, have happened. They're way up there in interception and those kind of things. So I think they do a great job of causing confusion. And like I said, they all run well. And they're playing really well. And they play with high. You always say, you know, they play hard, but they play with a great amount of energy. That is a high energy program. You can see on the sideline they make a play and they're jumping up and down, and they're playing out. They're feasting off of turnovers and lost yardage plays and that kind of stuff. So we got to do our best. Hopefully, maintain what we did last week.
What's it like, kind of building a foundation when you're taking on a new conference opponent that you haven't seen before? Just getting used to it.
No, it's not, it's good, really good question. It's really just kind of you get you kind of see them throughout the season. You see them on tape occasionally, so you kind of get a feel like what's a little bit. Sometimes you see more of certain teams than others. So it's really just that first the initial look, and then you really need that first game out there before you get a really good feel. But a lot of times you see me okay, and then after the first time it's kind of is what it is.
How did you feel like Jalen performed on Saturday?
Solid. I said really solid. I said there was the one. I said they're always like a solid as a compliment. I thought he controlled the game well. He ran well. Obviously, when you have no turn, like you eliminate turnovers and minus plays was huge after the last couple of weeks. So that's what I was really most proud of him. And then really solid in that regard. I think he wants the one back when camp run wild down the middle of the field and through to E-Man. That's always like, hey, E-Man's over there. The one-on-one, and the defense was kind of soft, and like, ooh, and camp broke through on the tempo. So I was happy, and I was happy with the high conversion rate at third and fourth down. That was a big thing. Making those things, making those plays, and keeping us on the field. So I was really pleased and happy for people call it bounce back. I told myself I was just really proud of the way you played. You played like with poise and looked calm and relaxed and comfortable again. Hopefully keep that.
Bryson kind of emerged with 2 big receptions. Talk about his growth throughout the season and how he performed on Saturday.
Yeah, we were talking about that. I couldn't remember when he was actually full, like second, third, fourth game, something like that. And then he's kept gaining reps. When you saw him early, like, man, that's a long, athletic kid with great hands and really great at the 50-50 balls T-Sam calls it, or that. And it's just kind of, he learned, our offense has always a lot of moving pieces and parts to it and learn a lot. They started getting more and more comfortable throughout that time. He started playing a little bit more, and now you're kind of seeing the, hey, I know where I'm going, what I'm doing now. So it's been great. That's the biggest growth. And him being able to play, we call it free and fast, because he knows where to line now. He knows the verbiage and the terminology on this stuff so well now he can just go play. So it's been really fun. It was good. I don't know last time we threw a fade ball. Like, that was freaking, I laughed going, geez, Louise. But that was good to see it, thank goodness.
How's Leighton Cure doing now that he's playing kind of his most football for you guys?
You know what? I was most proud. I'm proud of all those guys, but I was so proud of him and happy for him. Because there's been this moments where he's gone out there maybe and something good didn't happen to him, or he made a mistake, or he dropped a ball, or missed a blocker. He just played. It was really, he played probably the most he's played in a long time. And the third down catch was huge. And I laughed at him about the other one when he could have scored a touchdown. I guess you don't want it. But, I guess you wanted that. You wanted someone else to garner that touchdown. But the fourth down was not easy. And that's a big, crucial call, and he caught it and broke a tackle, kind of got ahead. So I was so happy. Hopefully, I would give him confidence that he can do. We know he can, but to be able to finally do it on the stage, on a big stage, has been awesome. So excited for him.
I know we've asked you about this at a couple different junctures this season, but how are the guys in that room responding to increased responsibility and just fewer overall bodies, I guess?
I think they're responding well. I think they're, how do you say this? I'm going to say it's really weird, probably. I think they have no problem with no one going out there sometimes. And those guys play because you start realizing the amount of 12 personnel we use, those guys do so many different things. So it's good for them to, I think they're responding well, and they're a really tight group. Like I said, all our groups are, but quarterback's really tight, and the tight ends are really tight. So I think they kind of root for each other, cheer for each other, and excited. And I think they kind of pulled Mikey in, they pulled Nolan in, even though he's not, but he's got to pull him in. I think they're happy for success, so they've done well.
How much time is Mikey spending in the meeting room with you versus in the meeting room with
Mostly tight end now, and I catch him up. He knows it. The good thing now is just as he sees the plays, he knows unless there's a true wrinkle of a player, like, hey, a new deal. But he's been here long enough now where he can get the little intricacies with Coach Lubick, and then like, hey, here's a different checker, here's some other stuff. So more time with him, because obviously that's a newer part. And then I always catch him up and get him out there. He does snaps and catches up. He's kind of a multi-trained. He's getting multi-trained, if that makes sense.
Isaiah Marshall had that long run. How do you determine when to use him, and if you're going to want to use him more? You only use him that one time.
No, you do. That's really good, because sometimes as things are going, you're like, okay, anytime a carry occurs, it takes a carry away from somewhere else, or is a flow of the game, especially quarterback-wise, because you're like, this dude, especially when he's taking a snap. Like, okay, is that going to, and luckily the way we practice haven't been a problem. But there's no really, I kind of, in my mind go, okay, these are 2 or 3 plays I want to make sure I get to. And sometimes the game dictates, yeah, or like, ooh. And then they want to get in my head at halftime, I'm like, okay, we got to get to that play. I'm pretty sure the 3rd quarter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I said, we got to get to that play. And I said, I just got to do it. And did it. And it was after, I think our defense had a great stack, they had a short punt or something like that, and then he gashed it. So I was always there. I was hoping to use it earlier, and just kind of the game kind of dictated. It was so weird because we had 2 drives at first half, and it's like a military game. You know, sometimes you've been in the Army before, you don't get the ball very much. But I don't know if I've ever got it only 2 times. Usually you get like 3rd time, that token at the end of the half. Hey, do I go? You didn't get that. So that's why it didn't happen as soon. And then I went, and I'm like, that was terrific. We laughed. I'm like, dude, you got to run down. But that goes fast. Whoever chasing was fast because he's fast. I know there's 2 fast dudes running. So it was good. And yeah, and the good thing is you've seen both have got out there, and they'll keep garnering more and more. We'll see how. There's always gonna be packages for those guys.
Speaking of the speed, they've been really focusing on taking Emmanuel away.
Yes.
Defenses has
Yes.
in recent weeks. How's he handling that attention, and how are you handling?
No, I think
him?
he's handling it well. He's such a great. You can never tell him. I'm sure, especially when you're getting doubled up, or they're playing soft on him, or they're kind of rolling coverages towards him, which then is kind of freeing up other people. So I think he's handling it well. And then I've seen it when it got through a little bit in the K-State world. We say, hey, they're playing a little more off than you thought they showed man-wise. So that kind of adjustment, and this one, the same thing, kind of similar structure. Where I thought initially maybe would bring more or play more man early and kind of play zone until 3rd down and long, and brought some stuff. So he's handled it well. I think I think we're adjusting. Hey, you got to take what they give you and move on. And then occasionally you just want to be able to have those few moments still to give them a chance. That's why I've done a great job with that. Yeah, I got to keep working through that.
Do you ever want to force feed it?
I do kind
do you?
of sometimes, and then all of a sudden it gets like a weird time happen and I don't. But
Right.
yeah, I think in the back of your mind going, hey, just got to throw it up there. And I think the NFL guys do a really good job. That sometimes they just throw it out there and see what happens. I think I know watching those guys. So there's certain reasons why certain guys get so many touches. So there's some of that too. I'm like, hey, there's some moments where I just say, hey, throw it that way. But the scary part, one time we did, the Cam's running down the middle of the field. So it's a no win, but yes, you are 100% correct.
When you talk about NFL guys still right up there, are there ones that you gravitate toward more? Just seeing
Quarterback wise or receiver or coach wise? No, the Vikings and Jefferson kid, not a kid, young man. I always say it that way, but he's unbelievable. Like you can see when he watched, and then we watch a little NFL football now because we're obviously here and they catch little tidbits of it. But that kid, he kind of stands out. But whenever I saw the Vikings, it seemed like the ball just finds him, and that's kind of the one that has, for some reason, has stuck out. I know the other ones. For sure, I'm a terrible name guy. He's the one that always just kind of pops out. That Vikings just popped out. Maybe they're playing in Europe or something, or whatever they were. Something I caught a little bit of their games. I'm like, they find a way to get him the ball.
Anything else for Coach Z?